Yeah, what it is, what it do, what it is. It is your boy, the Grizz, Dakota Griswold. Welcome back to Yesterday Today. This, of course, is the show where I bring you some of the biggest gaming news you may have missed from yesterday today. And we're going to talk about calling Final Fantasy a JRPG might be offensive. And if you thought we were going to have another news day without talking about the acquisition of Activision, well, I guess you're not. I guess you're in for a treat. But if you enjoy these videos, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you don't, go ahead and holler at your boy in the comments. And if you're new here, hit that red subscribe button and turn on all notification bells so you know when your boy is posting. But with that out of the way, let's get into the news. So let's talk about Telltale Games and The Wolf Among Us 2. And it appears that we've been pretty good so far. This is March 1st, and well, today's March 2nd, and just the second day in March, and well, we haven't really had any huge delays. You know, it only took about 3 months into the year, but here's our first delay in The Wolf Among Us 2, and Telltale tweeted out that they've made the difficult decision, and then they spoke to IGN, and here's an excerpt, and it says, "An important update for The Wolf Among Us 2. We've made the difficult decision to delay The Wolf Among Us 2 out of 2023. We know it's frustrating to hear. We started working on this in 2020, and we're still determined to tell the ongoing story of Bigby and the rest of the Fabletown gang. However, it is going to require more time. As disappointed as you are hearing this, we feel worse having to say it, but the work continues. We're committed to deliver the sequel fans deserve and doing what's right for the game while protecting the health of our team. We appreciate your patience and understanding, the Telltale team." Well, sure, delay the game if you feel like delaying it will make it the best version of the game. And well, these Telltale games are usually really beloved, and I remember The Wolf Among Us being very, very beloved as well. And I played maybe the first part, and I definitely enjoyed it, but these games typically aren't mine, but they are very good games nonetheless. But if you're a Telltale person, let me know down in the comments below if it's your vibe, baby. So Diablo 4 has released another trailer for the beta, the early access for the game. That's going to be from March 17th to March 19th, but that's only if you pre-order the game. And well, I'm really excited about this. I won't be able to play this because I'll be playing so many other things in between right now and then. But the thing is just I'm really wondering, you know, maybe they should delay the game further into the year because it's set to release too close to Zelda and way too close to Final Fantasy 16 for me. And not for me personally, but I just think even though they're all three very different games and they'll probably be purchased by three very different types of gamers, but I really think that maybe push it later. Hopefully it's ready. I just hope it comes out. I want it to come out like right now. I want to play it right now. I don't want to wait until when it drops. I just really think that maybe it would be swamped with the, just too close to the other two games. Now, they're a month apart, but I feel like people will be playing Zelda for at least the next 2 to 3 to 4 months after it releases. And Final Fantasy 16, well, that has a super huge fan base, and it appears that it's going to be attracting a newer fan base, especially with me. I played 15, but 16 definitely appeals more to me. But I'm also a Diablo fan, so I'm really interested in where this will all fall into place. But if any of this is your vibe and you got some questions, holla at your boy down in the comments below. Wow, we got a chance to get a good look at Final Fantasy 16 just the other day, but then the producer, Yoshi P, sat down with the homie SkillUp, a fellow YouTuber. He's awesome, by the way. Shout out to SkillUp. Had a sit-down interview, and we found out that Yoshi P and a lot of other Japanese developers didn't like the term JRPG. And while this is from PC Gamer and they just brought out some of the quotations, and it says, "SkillUp had asked Yoshida a question about how JRPGs had or hadn't advanced as a genre and found himself inadvertently stumbling on an old wound. Yoshida said that when the term JRPG first entered people's vocabularies, some devs in Japan felt like they were being made fun of for creating these games, and that Western players were compartmentalizing that what we were creating into a JRPG box." That's actually very, very interesting, because while we thinking that we're just categorizing it because it's also an RPG, but it's coming from Japan, and while over here we like to consider them Western RPGs, so that's, I guess we thought we were, weren't really hurting anybody. But then it also says, after all the Japanese devs were setting out to create something called a JRPG, they weren't. setting out to, and he remarks, they were just creating RPGs. The term JRPG is used by Western media rather than users and media in Japan. But then he also said JRPG has better connotations and is being used as a positive these days, but Japanese game makers still remember the time when it was used as a negative. So yeah, alright, we get it. Even though it's okay and they feel like it's a lot more positive, I get it. You feel like it's a little offensive, but the way we see it over here is that it's just coming from Japan, and because we feel like the Japanese style, developing style, is very, very different. You can play a game and just feel the Japanese developing style as you would in a Western RPG. Like, you just think Baldur's Gate compared to any of the old school Final Fantasy, or even stuff like Pillars of Eternity, like versus Final Fantasy Tactics. You can understand and feel the difference if you are a player of those styles of games. But what do y'all think about this? This is a very, very interesting topic, and I can't tell anyone how to feel. None of us can. This is just one guy with a YouTube channel talking about this. So let me know what you think about this down in the comments below, especially for my OG JRPG players, with respect though. So we got off a few days scot-free talking about this Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. I always stumble over that combination. This is why I always laugh. So, but before I say anything, Reuters got a nice little write-up, and it basically says EU regulators extend deadline for Microsoft Activision deal to April 25th. Microsoft EU antitrust regulators have extended their deadline for a decision on Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of Call of Duty maker Activision to April 25th, according to a European Commission filing on Wednesday. The Xbox maker announced the Activision Blizzard deal in January last year to help it compete better with leaders Tencent and Sony, but has encountered regulatory hurdles in Europe, Britain, and the United States. And well, I'm wondering what this could be, good or bad or whatever, because why is there an extension? They want to look even closer. But man, Tencent, I know I've just been seeing them buying everything up, and I even remember sometime last year them just giving Platinum some money to help fund future products. And well, Sony, well, they're in the lead, and Xbox just wants to be able to compete. We saw it just yesterday. PlayStation 5, 30 million. Xbox Series, 18 million? Yeah. That would be awesome if it was closer, like maybe 20 and 25, 22 and 30, something like that. 22 and 30. You know, it just maybe if it was a little closer. They're trying to compete because this gap will get even bigger. We just got to stay to play. We get in Final Fantasy, and that's only on PS5. And then we still got to get Spider-Man and whatever else Sony has. They just released PSVR. Maybe a person that just got a PS5, they enjoyed a few games, but they're like, yo, this PSVR 2 looks kind of fire. I think I want to get that too. Xbox doesn't even have an extra peripheral. They just got custom controllers and 2 SKUs, just like Sony does, of course. But I'm actually wondering what this actually means. I'm so curious, and I'm not really in a place to speak about this, but I'm just watching it closely and reporting on this. But if any of this is your vibe or your topic, holla at your boy in the comments. Let me know. So here we are. Activision in the news again, but this has nothing to do with the acquisition. It's because they fired some QA testers, and well, now they're being sued. So Kotaku caught this, and it says Activision accused of illegally firing QA testers over remote work protests. The CWA have today filed charges against publisher Activision, a company with a long track record of alleged union busting, claiming the publisher violated several workplace laws in relation to the firing of 2 QA testers. And then now it also says for far too long, Activision has gotten away with treating its employees, especially QA testers, like disposable workhorses, firing 2 employees for joining with their co-workers to express concern around hasty return to the office policies and retaliation, point blank. When faced with unfair treatment by unscrupulous employers like Activision, workers should have the right to express themselves. Well, I don't have all the information in front of me, but the way this looks right here doesn't look good for Activision. And the fact that Activision does definitely have a history of treating their employees like crap, and it appears that people are really upset the fact that they gotta not work from home and going back in the office, and they announced this kind of recently, but people have the right to express that, hey, I'm not really happy about it. Didn't mean that they wanted to lose their jobs or anything, but I'm also going to fall back without having all the information. But if you know anything or anything at all, holla at your boy down in the comments and let me know if this is your vibe. Alright, that's another one in the books. Thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what you think about everything down in the comments below. Whether it be Wolf Among Us 2 getting delayed out of the year, and Activision in the middle of a lawsuit, and that extension for the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Let me know what you think about all of this, and if any of this is your vibe. But on your way out, hit that like button, and if you didn't like what you heard, holla at your boy in the comments. Let's have a healthy dialogue. If you are also new here, hit that red subscribe button and turn on all bell notifications so you know when your boy is posting. Let me tell you, I post Monday to Friday 9 a.m. every day, letting you know, giving you the biggest gaming news you may have missed from yesterday today. Thank y'all so much again for watching, and this video is finito.